So what is the worst thing people do on public transport?
When they watch TikToks without headphones.
I saw a guy with a snake around his neck.
He was lying across some seats and he started peeing.
Creepy men staring at me and invading my personal space.
People getting on the tube with buckets on their heads, snorkels.
I could smell something and I turned round and he was there naked. I was like, oh, nice.
So what is the worst thing people do on public transport?
When they throw up.
How many times has that happened?
Well, I've seen at least 3 people get sick in the tube.
Man-spreading
How often do you come across that?
all the time, like commuters and things like that. It's just like, allow people to have space, like your own personal space. You don't need to take up the whole room. We know you're there. You don't need to spread that much.
Yeah, so the first time it was a girl who could barely walk and she just sat on the waiting benches or whatever and she just threw up. And then the other time there was a guy who was super drunk. He almost fell on the rows. And his family, I think his son or something, pulled him back and then he threw up in the bin.
I take it you've never thrown up on the tube?
No, no, not so far, no.
When they watch TikToks without headphones.
Yeah, like that, like really, really loud.
Why does that annoy you so much?
Because I'm watching my own ones and I don't want to hear their ones.
And I could smell something and I turned round and he was there naked. I was like, oh, nice.
I saw a guy with a snake around his neck. I was literally I turned around, he was beside the snake, a live snake. And luckily my stop was next, so I just got off. I mean, I don't think they belong on public transport.
Oh, when they stare.
Creepy men staring at me and invading my personal space. Man-spreading, that's fine, it's just a way of life. But yeah, creepy men, probably quite a common one.
The weirdest thing was when the pandemic broke out and people were getting on the tube with buckets on their heads, snorkels and every other DIY protection they could find. I don't know, neither protect you from a virus, so there's no science behind any of it, to be honest, but there you go.
My worst experience was staring and just like leering. No, not got time for it. I don't know, generally they're not sober and potentially not fully 100% okay. That's what I like to blame on.
Like, if you look at science and facts rather than propaganda, the size of a virus, a mask does, if anything, it makes you more vulnerable to viruses because you're breathing in carbon monoxide, lowering your immune system. They did the same thing with the Spanish flu, and the elite didn't have to wear them, obviously, but yeah, I think it was more of a guide of how obedient the population is to authority than a health measure and a way of dividing the population on opinion, which is how it always works. Divide and conquer, it's the oldest trick in the book, isn't it?
There was a man in the subway and he was homeless and he was lying across some seats and he started peeing and the stream went straight into the middle of the carriage and all the way down and just trickled. And I was on an upward stream. And it was at night and there weren't many people there, so I felt like I needed to get off.
Actually, I remember myself annoying someone on the tube. It was a really busy central line journey and there was like no space. And basically I couldn't reach any of the like handlebars, so I was kind of like, every time it took off I kept like stumbling like each way. And I bumped into the same woman 2 times and I saw over her shoulder her texting her friend at one of the stops. This fucking piece of shit keeps bumping into me and I can't do anything about it, and I was like, oh my god, head in my hands.